Hi everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor here. In this video, I'm going to be going over eye patterns. So what your eyes should be doing during the shot. Okay, this is very important. Honestly, I played pool for almost 4 years now, and my first 3.5 years, I was doing kind of the unconventional eye pattern. And I was still pretty good, and I was thinking like, oh, like I don't want to change, I'm already really good. And I switched to this new eye pattern. It took like 3 or 4 days, and now it's so much easier. Like I don't miss easy shots anymore because my eye pattern is much better, much better. So I recommend, if you don't do the eye pattern the way I'm going to talk to you about, I recommend you try it for a couple days, because this is the eye pattern that, I think, to quote Dr. Dave, who's not a professor, he's a mechanical engineer out of Colorado. He says, and he studies pool a lot, he said that I think 90%, I don't want to be for sure, 90% or so do this eye pattern I'm going to go through of the professionals. So 90% of the professionals do this eye pattern. This eye pattern is that if we have an object ball and a cue ball, so I'm going to pretend the object ball is kind of at the camera. And what you do is you go on the shot and you line it up and you line it up. And as you're doing your stroke, you're looking at the cue ball, kind of looking up at the object ball, looking up, you're kind of going back and forth, making sure everything's aligned. And then you want to, so I'm looking at the cue ball right now, right? You see me looking at the cue ball? Look up at the object ball. Stay at the object ball. Stay at the object ball. Stay at the object ball, back, forward. Stay at the object ball. And keep at the object ball. Okay, that's super important. I recommend you really try that, because like that really improved my game by doing that. Just made everything much more consistent. And I talked to some of my friends who are pretty serious pool players too, and they were like, oh my god, they couldn't believe I was doing this other eye pattern. So I'll tell you the other eye pattern now, but I recommend doing the one I just showed you. Like basically what you do is you want to look the cue ball and object ball as many times as you need to align yourself, but then after that, you want to keep looking at the object ball. Stare at the object ball, and you got to really trust your stroke and just stare at the object ball the whole time. The old eye pattern that I used to do that I don't recommend doing is, what I would do is I would do the same setup. I'd go object ball, cue ball, object ball, kind of move my eyes back and forth, see it's aligned, and I would focus on the cue ball, and as I shot through, I would look up at the object ball. And I do not recommend doing this, but it's just another eye pattern. I haven't heard of any other eye patterns than those two. But like I said, the eye pattern is really important, and it's worth trying it out. Definitely worth trying out the eye pattern I told you the first time, because that eye pattern is really nice, and most pros do it. Because most pool players don't even think about their eyes. They don't think about what their eyes should be doing. But if you do it this way, that's really important. One other important thing to do with your eyes that really helps me is when I'm lining up the shot, I tend to stare at the object ball. So I line up where I need to be on the cue ball, and then I stare at the object ball and go down. And that really helps me make sure I'm on alignment. And the way you want to think of it as, it's kind of like sniper rifle versus a handgun or something. Like if you got looking at the object ball, then you're only looking at like this, my finger to the object ball, which is a shorter distance, and it's not as, you're not zooming in on the target. But if you look at the object ball the whole time as you're coming down, assuming you got your alignment right, you should fall directly in line with your hand, your planter hand, the cue ball, and the object ball, and it should allow you to make pots better and to see the angles better. So I would recommend that, trying out a different eye pattern. Definitely go with the first one if you're like not sure, and it really helped my game, and I think it can really help yours too. This is the Billiards Doctor. Keep watching for more videos.